Welcome back to part 5 of opencv. In this video I'm going to be showing you how do you deal with shapes and how do you process them onto your images. So without any further delay, let's just begin now. Firstly, as I mentioned earlier, you have to import your libraries in Python. One second. cv2 cv, you can import it as cv2. I am used to cv2 cv. This is why I do. And you will also have to import your numpy. I'll make a dedicated video on numpy very soon, wherein I'll explain how does this tool helps us in image computation and video processing. So firstly, I'm going to make my own image using numpy. Firstly, I'll tell you one thing. Okay, let me just add this comment. Black color refers to 0,0,0. You have to keep in mind, okay? And white refers to 255, 255, 255. You have to keep it in mind. This is how BGR or RGB, all the values are same. So black color, when you are using black color, then the BGR or RGB format is 0,0,0. So that's what we are going to do using NumPy. That's I'm initializing my image with IMG and NumPy. I have imported NumPy as NP. You can import it as any. You can give it any name you want. NumPy dot zeros. You can now see the first thing that you need to write is shape like. Okay, so basically you need to give the size. I'm giving 300. Now 300 would be too small, so 500, 500 would be enough. And of course there will be 3 layers, and then you have to give it data type, which is an unsigned integer of 8 bytes. Okay, you have to keep it in mind. Your data type has to be unsigned integer. When I make a video, completely dedicated video on NumPy, you will get to know why do I use these kind of data types instead of others. Now I'm reading the image. So let me just give it black screen name, and then img, the way I have initialized my image, and I'll have to pop up this image using image show. Sorry, image show is done. I'm sorry. Now I'll have to wait so that it would appear on my screen for infinite time. Save this and run. You can see this is a black screen now. We can basically do a lot of things on it. We will definitely do a lot of computation. We'll basically draw some shapes out on here, like rectangle, circle, and so a line. We can just do a lot of things in here. So let's just quit it now. And now there's a command, opencv, that is cv.line. It is quite easy to use this tool because you get all these guidelines in here. You can just read the documentation. The first one is of course the image you want this line to get applied on, and then point 1. So let this be x comma y coordinate, so 5 comma 10, maybe, sorry, 10. And then point number 2 would be 25 comma 55 maybe. And then your color, so I'll add a white color. As I said, 255 comma 255 comma 255 is a white color, so that it would be very clear on my black background. And then comes your thickness. You can just add it to 3 maybe. That's it, and run the code. You can see this is the line starting from 5 comma 10 to 25 comma 55. You can draw some rectangles, some circles around it. I'll explain to you. PT comma PT1, so the point 1, so that's gonna be like 35 comma 35 maybe, and then here point 2, and that is going to be, let us make it a little bigger. So image is like 500 comma 500, so I can just, my x and y limits are 500, so I can just extend this to 400 comma 400 so that it would be very big in size. Give any random values you want to. Let's see which color appears. Because it's a BGR format, So let's just keep it red in color. So 255,0,0. G and R are PG are, so it will be blue in color basically. Now comes thickness, you can give it 3. Save, run. You can see that's a rectangle. This looks more like a square, but it is actually a vertical rectangle if you see, because those sides are different. But yeah, no, this is a square, guys. This is a square because x and y distance on either sides are equal. This is basically a square because there is no explicit built-in function for square. You can just play around the rectangle values and make out a square out of it. So I just add a circle, and IMG, of course, center. You have to give the center. It's gonna be 35, 35 maybe. Yeah. No, 35 would be too small. So 500. Then I will give 250, 250, so that it would lie on the center. Then radius. Okay. So radius would be maybe 20. And color, let's just keep it green in color. So 0 PG and 255 0. So yeah. Now thickness is again 3. Save, run the code. Okay, this is quite small in size, so let me just keep it bigger. Keep it a little bigger in size, so 210 times greater. Oh my god, so you can see this is how a circle, a rectangle, or a square, and then a line. So we basically use these tools in order to detect the correct portion. In the previous video, I've shown you how we were able to detect a car in real time, a moving car in real time. So using these shapes, we can basically draw an outline out of the car. Because in the previous video, I've shown you, if you haven't watched my previous video, then please I suggest you to go and watch my previous video so that you can have a better intuition of this. When we detect a car, as you have seen in my previous video, contours were not not looking sober enough to be used at an industrial or a professional purpose. So in order to make it look more precise and more better, we use these shapes. We basically draw these out of those contour points that we take out. So I wanted to make this video very short, just to show you guys how do we draw these uh, shapes on a black image. So or on any image, you can just lie over these shapes on any image. Okay, so yeah, this is how it works. If I just use any other image here, so let me just show you. If I use any other image here, let me just copy this so that I can retrace it back. So if I were to read this, okay, I'll have to read this first. So cv.image read and img comma gtr, sorry, gtr.jpg. That's mostly gtr picture that I've got in my folder. Let me just initialize it. So now if I try to run this, okay, that's too big in size. If you remember, our previous image was like 500 by 500 if I'm not wrong. So we'll give the same valuation, 500 comma 500, and I guess this should be fine enough. Yeah, I guess that's enough. Sorry, 500 comma 500. Yeah, now run the code. Okay, 500 is too big actually. So let me just keep it 300 and 500 maybe. No, there's something that we are doing wrong. See, without resize. Okay, I'll have to put it in image. Sorry. There you go. Now run the code. And there you go. Okay, so that's too small. Run the code. There you go. We can just draw these on an image as well, and on a video also. Okay, so you will have to make out a loop and just add these lines in your while infinite loop, which is while true, that we use for video processing. So we can just add these commands in the loop, and you will see all these lines being drawn on the video. So that's it for today, guys, and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to make a dedicated video on NumPy and kernel before I proceed with opencv further, because you have to have a great understanding of those. Otherwise, it would be a little difficult for you to understand these concepts. I'll make a presentation, PowerPoint presentation on kernel and NumPy separately, so that you can have a better intuition. For NumPy, I'll make a video and also do the code in the video. And yeah, that's it. There are a lot of exciting projects and exciting videos coming in. Stay tuned. Thank you.